Hello, and how is everybody doing today? It's great to see everyone. I hope you're all having a nice weekend here. Well, you can kind of tell by the lighting, it's super sunny. It's just one of those great days. As nice and sunny as it is, though, it is still a bit chilly. I'm just cutting open some packaging down here. Today, I wanted to make something. It's super quick and easy to throw together. But you've got to cook it. It's got to stay on the stove or in your slow cooker. This is one of those dishes you can even make when you're like half asleep. You're waiting for that coffee to brew. Your slow cooker is there. And you can just literally toss everything in, put the lid on, set it on low for 8 hours, come back, and dinner's cooked. I'm doing it on the stove just because personally I think it tastes better. And I'm going to be home. I'm not worried about leaving this cooking on the stove for a while. So, in case you haven't figured it out or you didn't read the title of the video, I am making a beef stew today. A good classic hearty beef stew. We've got some nice cubed stewing meat. If you can't find cube stewing meat, you can buy a sirloin roast. You could buy an eye of the round roast, whatever you like, a chuck roast, and just chop it up yourself. I'm just really lucky. My local store carries this regularly, so I'm almost always able to get it. And this week it was on sale, so it was even better. So I've got 3 pounds here of some really nice meat. If you're doing this stovetop, take this extra step. It will make it taste a lot better. I just have my pan beside me. We'll move the camera so you can see all that in just a minute. But yeah, I just have my pan here with a little bit of olive oil heating up. And what we're going to do is we're going to brown our meat first. Like I say, if you're doing this in the slow cooker or if you're doing it in a Dutch oven, in your oven, you don't have to worry about this. You can just throw it all in. If you want to take the time to cook it all up first, it will taste that much better. So what we're going to do, we're just going to pause this cam. We're going to relocate the camera. And this way you'll be able to see what I'm doing. You don't have to look at this. What's going on in the pan is more important. So let's pause, let's move, and let's see what's going on. All right, so we are back. Now you can see we've just got our nice deep skillet here. I have some olive oil, like I said, in there warming up. And we're just going to start putting our meat in. Now, if you don't have, you gotta love the sound of that sizzle, eh? If you don't have a big deep dish, you can just do this in a few small batches. But this pan will be big enough for me to put everything in. So we're just tossing it all in. If you find you get a really big piece like this, just with a small knife, chop it in half. There we go. Get rid of our empty packaging. And as always, I've lost my cloth. There we are. So we just want to get a little bit of browning on this, a little bit of color. What we're doing is we're caramelizing the outside of the meat. We're creating what's known as the Maillard reaction. And it just brings out some of those flavors. This is why when you just do it in a slow cooker, it still tastes great, but it doesn't have that same something. It's missing. So that's why I like doing it on the stove. I like getting those flavors built up. And to me, it's just worth the extra step. Now here, I just have some sea salt. You can use kosher salt. You could use table salt. I just prefer sea salt. It's a little bit finer and it's a little bit easier to dose out. You've got the nice sizzle going on from the meat. I'm just doing this over a medium-low heat. It doesn't have to be crazy high. It just has to be warm enough for everything to cook up. I'm going to add some black pepper. I've added maybe a teaspoon of each at this point, just because we're going to be adding more flavors as we go, and it's better to adjust. You can always add more. Very, very difficult to take out. Next, I've just added about a tablespoon of Montreal steak spice. This is really just a blend of garlic, onion, more salt and pepper. There's a little bit of chili pepper in there, but nothing that's going to bring any heat, just a little bit more flavor. So we're going to let that go. Now while that's going, to make things easier, I just bought little baby potatoes. I've used these before, you've seen me use them before, but it's just a little bit quicker and easier. If you don't want to get these, or you can't find them, that's fine. Just use regular potatoes and dice them first. Now, I'm just chopping these into 4, and they're going in with my meat right now. It doesn't matter. Everything's going to cook together. So let's get these cooking as well. Now you can add in a beef stew really any vegetables you want, whatever you like, but you might have to add them at different stages, just because some vegetables don't take a long time, and if you cook them too long, well, they get mushy and gross. And so the potatoes, they can take it. They might as well go in right at the start. And you can add, like I say, however many you want. You could almost make this just a vegetarian dish by just using all vegetables. Use some different root vegetables, some potatoes, some turnip, a little bit of parsnip would be nice to give a little sweetness. But as you see, I'm just cutting everything here really into, look, stuck together into bite-sized chunks. If the potatoes are really small, just chop them in half. They will break up a little bit as you're cooking, which is good because the potato starch is going to help to thicken this and create almost like a gravy at the same time. Give this a stir. Everything is smelling really good. The meats, a little bit of spices that we put in there. The garlic for sure is coming through. The reason this takes a while to cook, sorry, I'm talking over the sound of this sizzling. Is just the meats that we're using take time to cook. They take time to soften and to break down and just to do their thing. Even if we left it at this stage with adding some sauce and stuff, we'd have a great stew. Now, to be lazy, I'm just adding some baby carrots. Like I said, I'm doing this the quick and easy way. Again, if you want to use regular carrots and slice them up yourself, go for it. Feel free. But I want to get this done and started cooking Because the faster I get this step done, the faster I can get to the eating step of it. And let's face it, that's always the best part. I don't know, there's just something about a nice beef stew that when you get home from a long day at work and it's cold outside, it's just so good. So I'm happy now with how this is at this point. We are just going to add a little bit more seasoning. We've got some fine herbs. And this is just a mix, again, of different herbs. Most of the time, it's going to have some thyme, some parsley. Oh God, what else? Maybe some sage. It depends who makes it. A little bit of lavender, a little bit of oregano will be in there. But all these flavors just come to rich and deepen the flavor of everything we're putting in there. And now that we have a good base, now is the time that we can start working on our sauce. So what I have here is just one bouillon cube, or one stock cube, depending what you like to call it. I'm just going to crumble that in there. That's going to mix right now with some of the beef juices that have started coming out. Not too many juices from the vegetables at this point, but it will. And then next, we have our low sodium, I think this might be reversed for you, sorry, but it's just a low sodium beef broth. Get the low sodium. Again, the regular ones, or the ones that are full of sodium, are just too salty. It's just too much and it overpowers. And like I said, you can always add salt, but it's so hard to get rid of it. So it's just one carton. Comes out, it's about 4 cups. But it depends on the size carton you buy and where you live, of course. Here we get 1 liter cartons, so that's 4 cups. So this now, believe it or not, if we left it at this stage and just let it cook and simmer, we're done. But we want to build some more flavor. We want to add some more richness to all of this. So I'm just going to quickly open a can of tomato paste. I should have done this before, but I forgot. Oh. And we need a little spoon, which of course they're all dirty now, so I'm just going to use a knife. And we're going to add that 1 can of tomato paste. This is going to add to the richness. It's going to help to thicken up our sauce. And again, it's just about building layers of flavor. And how everything is going to work together. So, right now, we have done absolutely nothing that's difficult. We chopped up a few potatoes. We browned up a little meat, tossed in a bag of baby carrots, a thing of stock, a little bit of seasoning, and that's it. And now, all we do, take your cover, and put it on top, and it's done. It is perfectly edible at this stage. Well, once the potatoes are cooked, I mean. But the longer this cooks, the better it's going to taste. Okay, we just did a quick camera move there, obviously. So, this now is going to simmer on my stove for 4 hours to start. After about 4 hours, we're going to add some frozen peas and carrots to this, just because they're traditional in a beef stew. We're also going to add just a little splash of red wine. Again, it's to bring out those flavors. It's a bold flavor, and it just works really well with the meat and potatoes in there. To those of you who have seen previous videos, you're going to say, this looks really familiar to the beef bourguignon dish. And it's because it is. The beef bourguignon, just like this, is a stew or a braised dish. The only difference is how we season it and what vegetables we put into it. But the method is the same. So this is going to cook down. We'll come back a few times. We'll check. We'll show you an update as it cooks, as everything starts to thicken up. So until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your day. We'll see you, like I say, at least in 4 hours. And hopefully by then this will be ready. We can just add in those few frozen vegetables, which cook almost instantly, and we're done. And then it's time to eat. So until we see you then, have a great day. We'll see you all soon. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm just using my phone now, so the video will be a little bit different. But I just want to give you an update. It's been about an hour and a half, and I wanted you to see just how good this looks already. So what we're gonna do, hopefully, if not, we're gonna pause and spin it around, and there we go. So after an hour and a half already, this sauce has started to really thicken up. I did add the wine already because I want that taste to mellow out. I don't want it as harsh or as strong. The meat is already beginning tender. So is the potatoes and everything. Sorry the camera keeps moving, but like I said, I am just using my cell phone right now and I'm hand holding it while we do this. And we'll give the the sauce a little taste. Nice and beefy. The wine is in the background, but I can taste the carrots, I can taste everything. So far we're good. This is just going to keep simmering on the stove for about another hour and a half until that meat literally falls apart when you touch it. That's when we'll add the frozen peas and carrots, and dinner is done. So, there. So until then, while that's cooking, I've just got a little snack cooking up. We went and got a nice little baguette to have with the stew, because there's nothing better than a nice warm baguette with butter, dipping it in that gravy. Oh, I'm getting so hungry just thinking about it. So the next time I see everyone, this is going to have everything in it. It doesn't need any seasoning adjustment, doesn't need any more salt or pepper, so we're all good there. So the next time we see this, it's going to be ready, and it'll be time for the tasting. So till then, have a great day. Hello and welcome back. Wow, this has been some of the hardest 4 hours I've waited. But smelling this and tasting it and giving you that little preview before, it is so good. It's ready, and so am I. Let's give you a quick little view. We'll switch this over. So, sorry I can't get a better angle on this. The tripod I ordered will be here. Amazon says Tuesday. We'll believe it when it happens. But here we go. You can see how much all that liquid has thickened up into a rich, really thick gravy. The meat is just, like, it just falls apart to the touch. And this is ready to eat. I added the peas and carrots like 2 minutes before I started the video, and this now is ready. So, as always, the important part of all of this is, how does this taste? Well, let's get Nice little piece of beef. Small potato. We got some peas and carrots on there. You can see the steam coming off that. There's nothing else you can say about this. The sweetness of the peas and the carrots comes through. That little bit of wine that we added is just so nice. It rounds everything off. Just got some of the peas and carrots there. But it's so warm and so nice. And like I said, with how sunny it was before, it's still sunny, but it's getting gray and blech now. And it's just miserable outside. A meal like this on a cold day, it's just heaven. But probably the best part of a stew, I say, I want a nice baguette to go with this, is just when you can rip that chunk off, dip it into that gravy, and you can't get better than that. It's hot, but it's so good. A super, super easy dish to make. You saw, if you didn't take the step of browning the meat and putting it on the slow cooker, the dish is ready in like 5 minutes. Then it just cooks by itself. You don't have to do anything. Doing it in the pot took a little bit longer, but the flavor is so much more intense, I find. It's well worth that little bit of time if you can take it. So there we go. A classic beef stew. Rich, hearty, meaty, delicious, lots of veggies. I just put peas and carrots and potatoes in there, but you can add whatever you want. A lot of times if I have some sweet corn, that goes in there. It works beautifully. I just didn't have. So I really hope you try this. Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me how you enjoyed it. Was it worth the time on the stove cooking? So, sorry, that bread is just sort of stuck right here. It was the end piece. For those of you who don't know, I have now teamed up with Buy Me a Coffee. If you like this video, if you like the dishes I make, it's simple. The link is in the description. Click, and you can send me a coffee as simply as that. Also, some of you may have noticed the shirt. If you like it, they are available. Again, the link is in the description. And as always, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's free. You'll see videos like this every week. Sometimes I put out 2. I've been known to put out 3. And hit that like button. Show me and show YouTube that you like what I'm doing. So until next time, my name is Andrew. I am the 5 p.m. chef. And until we meet again, have a great weekend and bye.